Because I do believe with all of my heart that it is this season that is a defining moment in the life of, in my life and in Steph's life and in the life of our church. It's a defining moment, and there are lots of churches that are not going to survive it.
We begin with breaking news tonight because the death toll from the pandemic continues to rise.
And the number one priority from our standpoint is the health and safety of the American people.
Church choirs silenced. Singing has been banned at all church services in California.
But we begin tonight with the growing concern as the toll from that deadly coronavirus now grows.
Nearly every state in the country has now been declared a public health disaster zone.
I think that what has happened has helped to reveal that there are some in the next generation that are ready to take up the banner, you know, because this disease affects those who are older in a greater percentage than those who are younger.
You know, when I think about everything that God's done through the youth ministry, not just in the time that I've been here or past youth pastors, but since the beginning of Potential Church, you know, I think about all the different lives that have been impacted, and one life that comes to mind is Allie, and you know, her incredible story of, you know, she had always been a part of the youth ministry. She had been involved. She went to camp. She had been, you know, accepted Christ, but there was something that happened in her life. She experienced this car crash that changed everything for her.
This kind woman opened my door and she tried to wake me up, and I remember not being able to move. I was on a ramp and I didn't want to see myself hitting the wall, you know what I mean? So I just was like, okay, I know I need to hold on to the wheel and like try and get control back, but I was too scared, so I just let go of the wheel and closed my eyes. And at that time when I woke up, I just started praying and thanking God, because I didn't know if I was gonna wake up, you know? Of course, that like my first weekend back, they were talking about baptism, you know? And I was like, well, as soon as I, you know, get this cast off, I'm going. It really changed how I walked and how I volunteered and how I served and how I loved people. Not just because you get dunked in water, but because of, you know, the transformation on the inside. When I think about the next generation, I think that the youth ministry and the church is extremely vital. I think maybe now more than ever. For this new generation, this younger generation, they need this love and support. Children are our future, kids are our future. The next generation is always going to be our future.
God has used the circumstances in her life and in what's going on to pull her back in. There's really never been in your lifetime, in my lifetime, a greater opportunity to see the very need for God. I may have had some money in the bank, or I may have had a good education, or man, they may tell me I've got a great future ahead. And in just a matter of weeks, it can all disappear. Everything can change.
The U.S. economy has contracted 32.9% in the second quarter.
A customer refused service after he was not wearing a mask, who then allegedly stabs another customer.
Florida has reported nearly 415,000 cases.
Miami, which is the epicenter of the epicenter.
Much of Beirut is shattered this morning by one of the most powerful peacetime explosions ever.
The situation here in Santa Monica, California is very fluid. You can see police here now firing tear gas into the crowd.
But it is my prayer that in a season when people are looking for answers, that on all of our campuses, or even launching new campuses, on television and online, that we would be there, have the resources to be there, and to do things with excellence, to proclaim the gospel, because it's the only hope people have.
Vessels, that we would just be the people, the hands and feet of Jesus.
It's a defining moment, and there are lots of churches that are not going to survive it. There are lots of churches that will never be the same, and there are some, a few, who are going to be even more impactful. They're going to see more people come to Christ. They're going to see more marriages restored. They're going to see more teenagers trust Christ. And it's those who are not special, but it's those who just sacrifice. Those who are willing to give of their resources, of their time, to make sure that this next season is our best season, that this next generation has a live and active church in which to be a part of. And I believe with all of my heart that Potential Church is going to be one of those churches. And here's my prayer, is that we'll all participate. But we can't all do the same thing. We're all in different situations. But my prayer is real simple, is that just we'll all participate, that we'll all say, I'm in on making a difference at this unique time in history.